For many years, admirers of gospel icon Guy Penrod have cherished not only his extraordinary singing, but also the quiet strength and stability of his family life. Millions have been moved by Guy's breathtaking performances and his deep, soul-stirring voice, yet behind the man in the spotlight stood someone who remained almost a mystery: his wife, Angie Clark. She chose to live away from fame's glare, dedicating herself to supporting her husband and raising their children. Rarely did she speak in public or grant interviews, but now, after years of silence, Angie has finally opened up about the new chapter in Guy's life. Her straightforward yet impactful words have revealed a side of the beloved artist that many fans had only guessed at because of Angie's honesty and gentle candor. People now have a deeper understanding of the man they thought they already knew so well. To truly grasp the weight of Angie's comments, one must first look at Guy Penrod's remarkable journey. For decades, Guy has been a cornerstone of gospel music. His distinctive, warm, and commanding voice became, for countless listeners, the soundtrack of faith itself. His career has been built on passion, natural talent, and an unshakable devotion to his calling. From his earliest days of singing in small church choirs to performing on the grandest gospel stages, Guy has always represented more than just a performer. He became a symbol of humility, tradition, and steadfast faith. Fans admired not only his music, but also the man behind it. He came across as modest, grounded, devoted to family, and authentically himself. Unlike many performers who are swept up by fame and glamour, Guy's reputation rested on his genuineness. Yet many sensed there was more to his story than what appeared on stage. So, when news of changes in his personal life began to circulate, curiosity and interest grew stronger. Throughout this time, Angie Clark chose a different path. While Guy's voice was celebrated across the world, Angie remained quietly in the background, intentionally avoiding the spotlight. She was present, always by his side, but never seeking recognition. To many fans, she was simply known as Guy's wife, occasionally glimpsed in a photo or mentioned in passing. But within their home, she was far more than that. She was the steady anchor that held everything together. Angie dedicated herself to raising their children, managing their household, and offering Guy the emotional strength he needed while navigating the pressures of constant travel and public attention. Her silence was not weakness, but a conscious choice. She believed her role was to protect her family rather than share their private world with the public. For years, she stood by this decision, despite the curiosity of fans who longed to know her perspective. Over time, however, people began noticing subtle changes in Guy himself. While his performances continued to radiate passion, his offstage presence seemed to shift. Some described him as more introspective, more focused on his faith and his family than on the bright lights of the stage. Others observed that he appeared less outgoing, as if deliberately stepping back from the relentless demands of fame to embrace a different way of living. These changes sparked both intrigue and admiration among fans. They sensed the beginning of a new era for Guy Penrod, one defined by peace, spiritual growth, and renewal. Still, the true reason behind these changes remained unknown. Was it health-related? Was it born out of personal struggle, or perhaps a deeper spiritual awakening? Questions swirled without answers until Angie chose to speak. After years of silence, Angie Clark finally broke her quiet stance. In her calm and kind manner, she shared the truth about Guy's new chapter. She explained that the transformation was not sudden, but the result of years of reflection and a heartfelt desire to focus more on faith, family, and inner peace. Together, she and Guy made the decision to put their home, their health, and their well-being above the relentless pace of constant performances. Angie clarified that this new chapter was not about abandoning music, but about finding balance, allowing Guy to continue his calling while also nurturing the things that mattered most. Her words carried no unnecessary drama, but their power came from their sincerity, simple honesty. She gave fans the clarity they had long been searching for. The reaction from the public and fans was immediate and heartfelt. Many expressed relief and gratitude that the truth had come directly from Angie, the person who knew Guy best. Her humility was widely praised, with fans pointing out how rare it was for a partner to remain silent for so many years and then speak only when the time was right. Messages of love and support poured in for both Guy and Angie, recognizing their courage and sharing their story. Within the gospel community, the couple received admiration from fellow artists who applauded them for showing that, even in the demanding world of music, faith and family must remain at the center. Instead of fueling rumors, Angie's remarks inspired respect and deeper appreciation. Their journey became viewed as a shining example of how to live with honor and authenticity at its heart. Guy and Angie's marriage has always been a quiet partnership built on resilience and cooperation. While Guy's voice reached the world, Angie's strength quietly held their family together behind the scenes. Every concert, every album, every moment in the spotlight was supported by the stability she provided at home. Together, they built a life grounded in faith, where values mattered far more than fame. Angie's decision to finally speak out only confirmed what many had long believed, that Guy's new life was not about loss, but about growth. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where love, family, and faith were placed above everything else. Ultimately, Angie's choice to share her perspective was more than a personal statement. It was a valuable lesson. It reminded people that even those held in the highest regard are still human beings navigating life's transitions. It highlighted the often unseen role of partners who carry the quiet responsibilities of love and support while someone else stands in the public eye. Guy Penrod's new chapter is not just the story of a gospel legend stepping away from constant performance. It is the story of a man and his wife choosing what truly matters. Through Angie's honesty, fans were invited to reflect on their own priorities in life. Their story is one of love, faith, and perseverance, reminding us that true strength does not come from celebrity, but from the bonds of family. Angie's candor brought comfort to fans, inspiration to the gospel community, and perspective to all who heard it. In the end, their journey teaches us a powerful truth. It is not about how loudly we sing, but how faithfully we live. She was a mystery to many, yet within her family, she was the anchor that held everything together. Angie, the woman who had spent years standing quietly in the background, has now chosen to share her thoughts about Guy's new life after so long. In silence, her words are not loud, dramatic, or meant to draw attention. Instead, she speaks in a calm, sincere, and deeply honest way. By finally breaking her silence, Angie has allowed people to see not only her strength as the devoted woman who has always supported Guy, but also a side of him they thought they already knew but never fully understood. To appreciate the depth and importance of Angie's words, it is necessary to first revisit the story of Guy Penrod himself. For decades, Guy Penrod has been celebrated as one of the most respected voices in gospel music. His distinctive sound, deep and overflowing with raw emotion, became a defining element of worship for countless people. His songs have offered comfort to broken hearts and ignited hope for audiences. Grand stages of international arenas. Yet Guy was admired not only for his music, but also for his character. He lived his life prioritizing sincerity, faith, and family over fame or attention. Admirers saw him as a man who truly practiced what he preached, someone whose songs carried the authenticity of his life. He wasn't just a performer. He was respected both inside and outside the gospel community for his humility, warmth, and genuineness. While Guy carried his voice across the world, Angie Clark built a quiet, steady life at home. Instead of seeking recognition for herself, she chose to dedicate her energy to supporting her husband and raising their family with love, devotion, and sacrifice. Her silence was never born out of fear or weakness. It was intentional, she believed. Her role was to guard their private life, not to expose it to the world. To those who knew the Penrod family closely, Angie was the steady hand, the strength behind Guy's ability to keep singing and traveling. Yet to the outside world, she remained an enigma. Her decision to stay quiet only made people more curious about her perspective, her influence, and her role in Guy's journey. Over time, however, fans began to notice changes in Guy himself. His life off stage seemed to be entering what many described as a new chapter. His music remained heartfelt and passionate, but there was something different about him. He appeared less preoccupied with the spotlight and more focused on introspection, family, and faith. Some noted he was making fewer appearances at public events, while others observed a serenity and peace in his demeanor that felt new. Too many. It looked as though Guy Penrod was beginning a new life, yet the question lingered: what had sparked this transformation? Was it health concerns, a personal struggle, or a spiritual renewal? The speculation only grew louder until Angie Clark finally chose to speak. When she did, her words weren't dramatic announcements or grand revelations. Instead, they were simple, heartfelt, and quietly profound. Angie revealed that Guy's new life was the result of years of reflection, prayer, and intentional choices. Together, they had decided to place faith, family, and peace at the very center of their lives. She explained that Guy's transformation was not about leaving music behind, but about creating balance, living in a way where his songs flowed from sincerity and rest, not from pressure or obligation. Her candidness gave fans the clarity they had long craved. For the first time, they understood Guy's journey directly from the person who knew him best, not from speculation or gossip. The response from the public was overwhelming. Fans around the world expressed relief, gratitude, and admiration for Angie's words. They praised her for waiting until the right moment to speak, and for doing so with strength, grace, and humility. Many felt her statement confirmed what they had long believed, that Guy's new life was about growth, not loss. Gospel communities and fellow musicians also responded with respect, noting that Angie's decision to finally share her perspective was a powerful reminder of the importance of faith and family. Rather than stirring rumors, her words inspired gratitude and reverence. People began to see the Penrods not just as a famous performer and his wife, but as a true partnership built on love, resilience, and devotion. Looking back, Guy and Angie's journey becomes even clearer. While Guy lived in the public eye, Angie's quiet dedication at home provided the stability that carried him through. Every song he sang was supported by the foundation she built behind the scenes. The real strength of their story lies in this unseen cooperation, a kind of teamwork rarely displayed publicly. By choosing to speak, Angie only confirmed what many already sensed, that their marriage was rooted not in celebrity or attention, but in genuine love. Her words made it clear that Guy's new life was not about stepping back from success, but about going deeper into the values that mattered most. In truth, Angie Clark's voice has now become just as significant as Guy's by opening up. She shared a message that extends far beyond their personal story. She reminded the world that even the strongest voices need support at home, and that even legends are human, relying on the love and strength of those closest to them. Her honesty showed that real power often comes from partnership, and that behind every great man is someone who carries an equal share of the responsibility. According to Angie, this new life is not simply Guy's journey, it belongs to both of them. It is the story of two people walking hand in hand, choosing love over fame and facing change with unshakable faith. As their chapter continues, we see them not only as individuals, but as partners who understand what truly matters in life. Story is a reminder to us all that true success is not about awards or public recognition, but about the daily choices we make to love, support, and remain faithful through every circumstance. Fans have found deep comfort in Angie's words. Her perspective has inspired the gospel community and offered wisdom to anyone who listens. She has shown that real success is measured by loyalty, not fame. By finally breaking her silence, Angie Clark has not only illuminated Guy Penrod's new path, but also reminded us of the enduring power of love, perseverance, and faith. Their journey proves that even legends continue to write new chapters, and that the greatest stories are not always told on stage, but in the quiet, steadfast devotion to family and faith.